Hi, and thank you for joining us. Today, I'd like to talk about having a leadership mindset. I've always said that entrepreneurs wear a lot of hats. In many cases, they wear all the hats. There's no standard playbook for starting or growing your own business. Most entrepreneurs that I know struggle hard for the first few years until they get their feet under them. I certainly did. Wearing all of the hats, operational, accounting, accounts receivable, human resources, IT, payable, sales, we do this as entrepreneurs because we have to. Nobody's going to do it for us. Most of us do it for longer than we have to, and to our own detriment, and to the detriment of our companies, and to the detriment of our dreams. Most of us are stuck in the belief that there are limited resources, that problems today prevent us from thinking about tomorrow. One of my mentors and good friends, Scott Connors from the Crankset Group, always says that problems are opportunities. Well, sure, Scott. That's a little hard to see in a lot of cases because, in fact, they are problems. Today, I'm going to talk about a concept that I wish I had learned 10 years before I did. As I said, there's no standard playbook, and I want to talk about having a leadership mindset. These are the principles that I've learned through years of working one-on-one with my mentors and reading hundreds of articles and books on the subject, and leading and failing to lead amazing and dynamic teams and strong personalities. A lot of speakers and writers and business coaches are a lot more experienced than I am at this stuff, and I'll pay them the respect that they deserve by to some of them during the course of this presentation. I'm Clayton Achen, a founder and leader at Henderson CPAs in Calgary, Alberta. We're a modern online tax, accounting, and consulting firm, and we help entrepreneurs and business leaders build great companies. We specialize in Canadian cross-border US tax as well as cloud-based technologies to help business owners achieve their goals. My background's in sales, leadership, and Canadian corporate and trust tax. I've been leading sales organizations since I was 19 years old, and I've spent many years training for my professional career at two of Canada's most reputable big firms. In 2013, I decided to hang up my own shingle with my business partner, George Henderson, and that's where our crazy journey in business ownership began. Today, I'm going to talk about a few targeted topics that I think are relevant to the leadership mindset. First, we're going to compare managing versus leading people. Then we'll talk about your company's why, what, and how, that is, your vision, mission, and core values. Then we'll talk about the necessity for process mapping and how it helps in designing your organizational structure. With all of that covered, we'll lead you through hiring for Ethos and why it's way more important than hiring based on resumes. And then lastly, we're going to talk about how important it is to make decisions based on data, then your gut, and not based on emotions. So the first thing I'd like to talk about is the difference between a manager and a leader. Chuck Blakeman is a founder of our friends at the Crankset Group. He wrote a fabulous book called Why Employees Are Always a Bad Idea. It's standard reading for all new hires at Achen Henderson to help them understand our culture and how we operate. Chuck does a great job of highlighting the differences between a manager and a leader, and I've combined his ideas with some of my own here. One of the main points to note here is that one of Chuck's mottos is manage stuff, lead people. Stuff needs to be managed, no question. The next section deals exclusively with our relationships with our teams and the differences between a people manager and a people leader. So, a people manager dictates tasks and micromanages subordinates. A people leader defines clear objectives and grants autonomy to equals. A manager hires based on resumes and skills. A leader hires for ethos. They know that skills can be taught. A manager has low trust in team and process, and they discourage initiative. A leader trusts team and process, and they encourage risk-taking. A manager dictates actions and discourages creativity. A leader guides team members and inspires action. A manager measures compliance with micro-objectives and claims wins as their own, whereas a leader measures what matters and praises their team's accomplishments. A manager promotes themselves, where a leader evangelizes their brand and promotes their team. I think you get the idea. A manager focuses on being in charge and they focus on operations, where a leader focuses on the bigger picture. The rest of this presentation really thinking about the bigger picture. People leaders are far more effective than people managers, and they get results. So let's get into how. So why does your company exist? To answer this, you'll need to decide what your company hopes to achieve in the end. Put another way, your vision is a statement of what your company is aiming to do in the world. It's the ultimate goal, the destination, the light at the end of the tunnel, the company's mountaintop or guiding point for every decision that is made henceforth. Leaders define the value and success of their companies in a lot of different ways. Some use financial metrics such as net income, net assets, and the ability to sell businesses for a profit. Others believe that businesses that support their families and the families of their employees are the most important. Some leaders might be focused on charitable endeavors or community involvement or finding a way to make the world a better place. Whatever your definition is, it needs to be clearly stated and understood in order for success to follow. So here is Achen Henderson's vision. We are a leading-edge, technology-based financial services firm. We exist to help entrepreneurs and business leaders build great companies. That's the light at the end of the tunnel. It is the why we exist. IKEA's, for example, is to create a better everyday life for the many people. Microsoft's is to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. Patagonia's to build the best product, cause no unnecessary harm, use business to inspire and implement solutions to the environmental crisis. You get the idea. This is the light at the end of the tunnel. It's where we are all headed. So now that you've got your why figured out and written down and codified, we need to talk about what you do. What does your company do to achieve its vision? A clear mission statement defines what the company does for its customers, its internal team, its vendors and the community, and its owners. If the vision statement is the light at the end of the tunnel, the mission statement is the mode of transportation through the tunnel. If your mission is unclear, your team will fill in the blanks individually on their own, resulting in higher turnover, reduced productivity, and increased difficulty reaching your target customers. In fact, it's likely that you won't even be able to identify your target customers without a clear mission. Achen Henderson's mission: we deliver custom managed financial and executive services. We become our customers' virtual finance partners. We focus on our customers' success. Let's look at a couple others. TED Talks to make great ideas accessible and spark conversation. Fair enough. Target, our mission is to make Target your preferred shopping destination in all channels by delivering outstanding value, continuous innovation, and exceptional guest experiences by consistently fulfilling our expect more, pay less brand promise. This is the what it is that you do to achieve your vision, your why. Once you've got your why and your what figured out, it's time to talk about the how. How does your company carry out its mission? Your company's core values define how your company gets it done. Back to the tunnel. If your mission is the mode of transportation through the tunnel to reach the point of light, the vision, then your core values are how you behave, your posture, what clothes you wear, and how you interact with fellow passengers along the journey. Core values are your baseline beliefs, your guiding principles that determine how your company and your team will interact with customers, vendors, communities, and themselves. Your core values guide your company's culture. They are the boss, the approval process for a lot of decision making going forward. More on this later. At Achen Henderson, we have 6 core values. Timeliness, we're on time with all deliverables. Accountability, we hold each other accountable to our core values and to the quality of our work. Transparency, we are open and honest at all times with ourselves, our clients, and our vendors. Leadership, we think and act like leaders every day in every decision we make. Integrity, we do what we say we will do. Collaboration, we operate together with our clients as a single coordinated effort that creates value. Sharing your core values publicly may not be necessary. We do because one of our core values is transparency. In order for your core values to be effective, it's imperative that your team embody them. This is how to build a company culture that works. I mentioned earlier that our core values become the boss. Our team members have the individual freedom, the autonomy to make decisions on their own without approval from anyone. They just need to ask the core values for the answer. When there's a reputational or financial risk to the firm relating to the decision, that a team member has to form a self-managed work group, often involving one of our partners, to determine the best course of action. People are smart, and they'll generally make the right decisions if they're given the right guidance and then trusted. A lovely side effect of operating this way is that it keeps the company's leaders focused on adding adding value to the company rather than wasting their time on putting out operational fires. Another lovely side effect is that a well-defined vision, mission, and core values allow you to get out of your people's way, which it turns out people love. Staff satisfaction increases, retention increases, hiring becomes easier. All the things that you wish would start happening, start happening. Your vision, mission, and core values are only words unless your company culture and stakeholders project them. Here's a couple actionable items that you can do to build your culture around your vision, mission, and your core values. Hire for ethos. Skills can be taught. Hiring the right people who share a similar vision with your company and who embody your core values is essential to success. Ethos is way more important than skills, experience, and a heavy resume. Talk about success often and how you measure success and turn problems into opportunities. We begin every team meeting by discussing the successes that we have had with our customers since last week, always relating the success to our why, what, and how. We discuss our failures openly, and not to berate or discourage, but to take ownership and encourage constant improvement. After all, problems are the best source of opportunities. Link paychecks to success. We're a big believer in company-wide profit sharing and calculating profit share payouts based on the success of your team members. Success at Achen Henderson is measured according to our vision, mission, and core values. Set the tone at the top. If the leaders in the company are not living and breathing this stuff every single day, the company culture will not take hold, or worse, it will be poisoned. When this happens, the chances of achieving success and retraining team members are substantially reduced or eliminated. Remember that core values are the boss, and then allow autonomous decision-making. Hold accountability meetings in regular intervals where leaders report to the group their upcoming goals and objectives and report their progress towards past goals and objectives. Make these meetings public. Allow anyone in the organization to attend them. Alan Mullally did this at Ford, and it changed the entire culture over a period of a few months. He never had to fire anyone because the bad apples self-selected out because they were too uncomfortable when they couldn't hide behind their position. A clearly communicated vision, mission, and set of values are foundations for building company cultures that work. These give you a method to express why your company exists and what its objectives are and how it behaves. This gives your team a focus point, aiming them on a common purpose, at a common purpose. Purpose and direction are the key to happy employees. A happy team is the key to happy customers, and a happy customer is the key to your success. Just ask Richard Branson. Now that you have your vision, mission, and core values figured out, it's time to get into some details. Let me know if this sounds familiar. You and your co-founders are swamped. You're killing yourselves working every day and all night for a suboptimal reward. Why? Because you wear all of the hats and have no time to focus on the bigger picture. Billing, accounts receivable, marketing, human resources, IT, professional work, receptionist, all of it. In order to break the cycle, you need to hire help. In order to know what kind of help to hire, you need to spend some time understanding, dissecting, and documenting all the little functions and processes that you do in a day. There is nothing too small. Everything adds up. In order to hire the right kind of help, you need to clearly define all of the small processes that occur in a day-to-day basis. This is painful, time-consuming, overwhelming, and can be demoralizing. And you don't have any time to do it because, after all, you're too busy putting out today's fires. My partners and I went through this, and we knew that we had to stop. We had to break this pattern that plagues so many entrepreneurs. It was taking all the fun out of our jobs. And that's a shame, because fun was the reason that we started out in business ownership in the first place. Here's what we came up with. This is Achen Henderson's high-level process map. It details all the stages of our interactions with our customers, and we use a common naming system and workflow for every single customer that comes to us. We design a process map from our client's perspective. What would they like to experience as a non-accounting savvy business owner hiring an accountant and a consulting firm? How would we make their experience more seamless for them? In fact, we even hired a customer experience leader whose job it was to help us map this out. Pro tip, this person is not an accountant, but she has worked with lots and understands the psychology of our industry. She was our first hire in the New World Order because we knew early on through our vision that we wanted to center our firm around the needs of our customers. We wanted to provide something different from all the other accounting firms out there. We wanted to center our firm around this experience that our customers have with us. This process map allows our entire team to speak the same language with regards to any customer that we help and their journey through any particular engagement. Of course, there are more details in each of these boxes, but leaders aren't here to micromanage those. We hire smart people to take care of our business. So we largely let them develop, document, and communicate their own processes for working through this framework. Note that this process map is even communicated with our customers right on our homepage through every step of our engagements. The clarity that it creates for them is outstanding. We communicate our process up front so that future customers know what they can expect and they can make a more informed buying decision. Armed with this process map and the specific services we wanted to provide, we started working on our org chart to reflect our new realities. A well-developed org chart should display a structure that achieves the company's mission with maximum efficiency. I'm personally a fan of horizontal organization charts, putting as many folks in leadership positions as possible. We designed an organization chart that, again, is centered around the needs of our customers. You'll notice that in our org chart, the customers are at top, not our partners. In fact, you don't even see our partners in our organization chart because our firm isn't centered around our partners. You'll notice the next highest position in the organization chart is the person who's in charge of ensuring our customers have a good experience with us. Then come the professional teams. We want to have an accounting business and not an accounting practice. A thought leader in the accounting technology space, Ryan Lazanis, once did a podcast or a blog or something defining an accounting practice as one that's centered around the partner or the practitioner. Without the practitioner, the business fades away. In order to create growth beyond a certain level, you must create this insane pyramid structure where you work all of your subordinates to death for low pay. And hopefully one of them is crazy enough to want to take all this over one day. This is most accounting firms in the world today. An accounting business, on the other hand, is one that's centered around good processes, consistent deliverables, no matter who is working on the file. That's a scalable business, and one that no one has to kill themselves at. This may sound easy, it isn't. It takes your entire team working together. It takes intense and uncomfortable honesty. No one person can pull this off and run their business at the same time. If you exclude team members from the process, the result will not be a true reflection of your business. If you exclude people from the process, there will be less buy-in and your chances of success will be greatly reduced. Even the lowest paid workers should be involved. They are sometimes the ones with the best ideas. Alan Mullally was known to drop in on receptionists and have lunch with janitors and factory workers because he wanted to hear things from their point of view. For us, the entire process took around 18 months. And that was hard work, but now these foundations, our vision, mission, core values, inform every single decision that we make. With your process map and your organizational chart in place, now you're ready to start hiring your team. Merriam-Webster defines ethos as the distinguishing character, sentiment, moral nature, or guiding beliefs of a person, group, or institution. Well said. Hiring people who have the same beliefs as the company will pay dividends. Even in panicked times of outstanding growth, do not make the mistake of hiring somebody based on their resume or competence alone. This behavior always produces suboptimal results. Trust me when I tell you that if you've done the work on developing your vision, mission, core values, your process mapping, and your organization's chart, finding the right people gets a lot easier. But it still comes down to trial and error and installing a great process. In our process, we filter out 90% of applicants almost instantly with very little work required. And I barely take a look at a person's resume until after I've met them for the first time. Here's how we do it. First, we write out a very long job description that includes our vision, mission, core values, and a description of the average day in the life of X. These job posts can run 6 to 8 pages long. Next, we post on various job boards and social channels in a seductive way that helps separate us from all the other accounting firms out there. And we direct candidates back to our career section on our website to apply. We've been known to use language like, are you tired of X working conditions? Or here's a video of one of our team members talking about why working here is different. Or here's a link to 100+ client testimonials so you can see what our customers think. Next, we have a standard form that candidates are expected to submit when they want to apply for our positions. It asks culture questions, asking them to describe what they've read about our culture and why they think they'd be. Notice I haven't asked for a resume yet. Next, after they've submitted their form, they're emailed instructions on how to submit their resume. We filter next. We can filter at least half of the applications out for not clearly reading the job posting or following our process. Another 30 to 40% are easily identified as no-go candidates by the way that they've answered our culture questions. We can tell that they're not a good fit. Next, we have a couple rounds of interviews, and our interviews always include team members that the person who we're hiring will be working directly with. Their opinions matter more than anybody's. Next, if possible, me and a team member or two will meet in person with the person. Obviously, that's a bit of a challenge right now. Pro tip, we leave all of our positions posted in the career section of our website, even if we're not hiring for them. We'll put a note at the top if we're currently hiring for the position or just collecting applications for future positions. Now that our website has gained traction, we're constantly getting new applications and we always have a stack of resumes to look through. Now that you have your team in place, it's time to start gathering data and making decisions. So many entrepreneurs live paycheck to paycheck, wondering where the next one is coming from because they lack the basic information that they need to make more informed decisions. That's what we're trying to solve at Achen Henderson. Data takes a lot of forms. It can be as simple as having up-to-date bookkeeping so that the company can prepare a cash flow forecast for the next 12 months and run some scenarios for contingencies. We did a pile of this year due to COVID closures. Our customers needed to know how long they could survive in a given set of conditions and what their revenue targets are to cover their fixed costs during lockdowns. Technology allows us to keep our customers' books up to date, almost in real time, from anywhere in the world for a fraction of the cost of hiring a full-time accountant for their company. Armed with real-time financial data, our customers can have meaningful conversations with us every month and monitor trends that help them form strategies at the speed of relevance. How many business owners in early January, how many of you are able to explain to their banker, potential investors, or their staff how much top-line revenue, gross margin, expenses that they had in the last calendar year, 2020? How many know how that compares year over year or over the last several years? How many have taken a good look through their expenses already to see if they've had any spikes that require some attention? Our customers can. In fact, at Achen Henderson, we already have our 2020 bonuses calculated because all of our data comes to us in real time. We already know how many clients we've lost and how many we've gained and how much we've grown and how much we can expect to grow in 2021. How about workflow and job metrics like project turnaround time and job costing? With modern technology tools, construction companies can know just how much they've spent on any given project in nearly real time. Perhaps certain team members are working too hard on something, which is either an efficiency problem or a staffing problem. Having this data in real time helps you make more informed decisions. Knowledge is power. Data can take many other forms. How do you measure client satisfaction? At the end of every engagement, for example, we send out a survey and offer people a Starbucks gift card if they fill out a quick feedback form. It's been hugely successful. Just go look at our website. We take the good and the bad. Our customer ranking is a factor in determining our year-end bonuses. When there's a challenge with one of your customers, this gives them the opportunity to let you know in a safe environment in real time. You can then instant adjustments to your delivery model and prevent systemic problems. With the right feedback loops, you can monitor satisfaction trends by team member and by department and make adjustments accordingly. How is each page on your website performing? Have you customized your content to target your ideal customer? How is your social media engagement? Are there certain posts that perform better than others? Watching who engages with your content gives you a very clear idea of who your content is reaching. Data helps companies know which content is producing results. In our case, that's leads, and which are not. We pay nothing for ad spend, and we still manage to get 10 to 20 qualified leads per week because we have fantastic informational content that helps a lot of people. And we can monitor which posts are reaching people and which ones people are ignoring, and we can make adjustments to our social strategy as we go based on that information. Knowledge is power. Change is terrifying. It takes time and it takes energy, and maybe you don't have much of either. Here's some tips to help you along your journey of change. First, there's lots of professional help out there, from leadership coaches to culture consultants to Achen Henderson, helping you build out a more robust accounting and data gathering system. Everything is expensive when you're duking it out as an entrepreneur, and the most important things that will help dig you out of the hole that you're in are usually the things that take a back seat. I like to consider things from an abundance perspective. If we had unlimited resources, which problems would we tackle first in order to have a better life tomorrow? So get professional help and be ready to make some investments. Get ready to be very honest and uncomfortable. Embrace the discomfort. Every mistake is an opportunity to learn how to do things better tomorrow. But every time you play it safe, that could be a missed opportunity. You have a lot on your plate. This is going to take time. Slow down, go one step at a time. Acknowledge your small victories, but only for a moment. There's a lot of work to do, time to get back to it. And lastly, the best piece of least expensive advice that I can give you is take the time to read some books about leadership. Here's a few that I like. Most of these are available in audiobook. Find out which leaders resonate with you and copy them. Some leaders are born, most are not. I'm certainly not a natural born leader. These people write these books to help you, and they're totally okay with you stealing their ideas. I've stolen plenty of ideas. Thank you very much for joining me today. I want to wish you all the best luck in success and small business ownership. I hope that you get everything that you want out of it and that you have as fun a time as I've had with it. Thank you again.